Good afternoon, educators. Today I want to show you why you should not get rid of your baby books so quickly. It's because they can become good early readers for your kids. Here's an example. This is a little baby book, little board book. It's in terrible shape, but it can be used easily for beginning reading. So 2, 3, 4, 5-year-olds will pick up really quickly that this is a pattern. One kite, 2 pancakes, 3 balloons, and so on. This is a good beginning reader because the children know what the words are. They can look at the picture, and by the way, let me just pause to let you know that that is not cheating. You want to actually encourage your children to look at the picture because that's what good readers do. So they look at the picture and they see that there are 3 balloons, and then they can point underneath 3 balloons, and you want to teach them to point under the words 3 balloons. And so even though these are not sentences, and even though your child, your student, may not know all their letters and all their sounds, that doesn't mean that they can't do beginning reading. So here's another example of something like that. Really fun for beginning reading. It's more of a label than a sentence, but it's still reading words. And if you know me at all, you know that my soapbox is confidence. And confidence is everything in a child's life. So important for so many things, but particularly in this case, confidence in reading is going to be boosted when they realize that they can read these books. Here's another example of a board book that just has labels. Clean, dirty, and I have to say I don't love that this is portrayed as a sentence, but we won't cross hairs about that right now. If your child notices, then you just say, well, they made a mistake, or they're being silly, or they're trying to trick you, and you just move on. But again, they're pointing underneath the word clean, dirty, and so on. And they'll be able to read. And yes, that counts. Here's another example. This one is not labels, but it's a book with words that they know. And so again, you're teaching them to point under each word. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. And I say that one-to-one pointing is important because it doesn't come naturally. You think they'll just point to each word twice. There's 4 big words, and they're all different colors, and you think they'll know to move their finger to each one once. But actually what they try to do is the syllables. And so they'll say twinkle, twinkle, little star, and then they'll just kind of start pointing all over. Bless you. So another idea is to use these books where they already know the words. This one is a familiar song, obviously, but you probably have books that your kids have memorized and they know every word, even though it's not a song or a poem. And those are great too. And that's not cheating just because they already know the words. Remember, you're practicing the one-to-one pointing of their finger underneath each word. So it's actually great that they have the words down. Here's another board book. This book is different because it has a pattern. And so each time they say hello, and then they tell them the action to do. Swim, duck, swim. And then hello, rabbit. Hop, rabbit, hop. And so here's an opportunity. The kids might say jump. And you say, oh, that would make sense, but I see an H, so it must be hop, right? And they might say bunny, and you say, oh, it is a bunny, but this author chose a different word, and it starts with an R, so we know that it says rabbit, right? And so I'll try not to get too in the weeds about how to teach reading. But anyway, the idea is that this has a pattern, and so it's easy for them to read. By looking at the picture and knowing what's coming next, this is a good beginning reader. And then one more example of a book with patterns. This one works in the same way, but it's a book that you would read together. So this would be text that's a little bit too difficult for a beginning reader. But it has a pattern on each page. It says, uh-oh, oh no. And so then the parent or caregiver or teacher or grandparent or whoever you are would read those words. So getting them involved, always reading, uh-oh, oh no, and then the parent or the adult or the teacher reading the rest of it. And so that's a fun way for y'all to read a book together. So books with labels, books with words they already know, or books with patterns are all good ways to begin teaching your child how to read and build their confidence. Have a great day, educators.